Hi everyone, my name is Kate and welcome to Lost in My Library. So today we are doing the mid-year freakout tag. I'm really behind on this, but Becca's done it recently, so I'm not the only one. Anyways, alright, so the first question is the best book I've read this year so far. I have two. I can't choose between the two. They're both really, really good and both hold a special place in my heart. First one is going to be Radio Silence, which shocked me and will come up later as well because it surprised me. It's a contemporary. It's not a romance. So I think that's what I liked about it, was that it's not a romance novel. And I like the podcast aspect of it, and it was just so good. Oh, it was so good. And my second one, if you know me, it's no shocker, or if you look at my Twitter profile picture, it's Ahsoka by E.K. Johnston. This one was by Alice Oseman. I didn't mention that. So Ahsoka is about Ahsoka Tano, who is or was, you just have to watch, the Padawan of Anakin Skywalker, as we all know, who becomes Darth Vader later on in his lifetime. She was in Clone Wars and Rebels. This is the bridge between the two of what she was doing between Clone Wars and Rebels after Order 66 happened, and how she survived, and how she got these really cool white lightsabers, because that's important. Anyways, I just need more. Like, there's nothing wrong with the book. I love the book so much. I just need more, and I'm kind of upset with the Clone Wars Season 7 already, from what I've seen, because it seems like it's messing up some of the things that are in this book. And I at first thought they were white lightsabers in the Clone Wars trailer, the new one, for Season 7. I was about to lose it, because Anakin just gives the lightsabers over. In this, it's a lot more complicated, and how she gets her white lightsabers. So, and if it was to come down between which one stays canon, the cartoon one would, and I would lose it, because this is so good, and it's so much better than just like giving out the lightsabers. It is what it is. Okay, so the next two questions I'm just going to skip over because I don't have answers for them. One, I've only read 2 sequels this year, and one of them is going to be on like the most disappointing book I've read this year, and the other one is just not worthy of being the best sequel. So there's not a really good answer to that. I haven't read a good sequel this year. So the next question would be what, and I don't have any like releases of this last half of the year that I'm excited to read. But I don't get excited. I don't know. That's weird. But I actually have an answer for a book that is being released in the next half year. A surprise that I actually have one for that. And I have my Handmaid's Tale, because the sequel to The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood is coming out in September, and I'm actually really excited because these historical notes at the end of the story messed me up. Oh, it was so good. The book ends on a cliffhanger. I haven't seen the TV show. Oh, I'm really nervous, but I think Margaret Atwood can do really good things. So, here's to hoping that it's called The Testaments, I believe, is what the sequel to Handmaid's Tale is all it's gonna be called. Anyways, that's what I'm excited about. So the next question is biggest disappointment of the year. That is going to a sequel that I have read this year. It's like the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6th or 7th sequel in this series. That is Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. And Then There Were None was one of my favorite, it is still one of my favorite books of all time. It's so good. It grips you and you want to read the entire thing. This is, half of it is character introductions. And then so I can't help, because I'm a huge Sherlock Holmes fan, comparing Poirot to the great and awesome Sherlock Holmes. I can't like Poirot. I think the reason I like Sherlock Holmes as much as I do is because when you read Sherlock Holmes, you're not reading it in a Sherlock, like, you're not in the mind of Sherlock Holmes, you're in the mind of John Watson. So you know as much as John Watson does, and that makes sense as to why he doesn't understand everything and why Sherlock has to explain a lot of things, because you're in the mind of John Watson, and John Watson loves Sherlock. I mean, like, he really likes, friendship, and you take it whatever you please. This is a third person limited, or it's third person, it's not first person, but you see the thought processes of Poirot, kind of, you see its thoughts in this book. And I just don't like Poirot. You don't get much about Poirot at all in this book. And so you're seeing the case and seeing everything through the eyes of Poirot. Now, that would be cool if we could, like, see his thought processes more. But since it's third person, you don't get all his thought processes, and he jumps to a lot of conclusions that you're just like, where? You know that meme of, like, here's a dot, I've connected it. Yeah, Shane from BuzzFeed, I've connected the dots, and you're like, no, you didn't. What? I don't understand where you're saying that you connected dots, because you connected nothing. Nothing was connected. That's how I felt reading this book. In the ending, as I sat on it for a while, it feels like a slap in the face, honestly. And I watched the ending. I went on YouTube, watched the ending for it, or the movie ending of the 2018, or 2017. Yeah, 2017 movie. And it looks really dumb. It looks so bad. It looks so bad. I don't like this book. I wrote all in it. Like, the most fun I had with this book, I did have a little bit of fun. And I might do a more in-depth review of this and just being like, what? This makes 0 sense. Here was one of them. What I did. So I went in, there's a guy, his title is the Wagon Lit Conductor, and it said lit. So every time it said lit, I was like, he's lit. That was really, really cringy. I'm sorry. But, so I would, like, underline it, and I'm like, lit. I don't know. I was that really just not interested in this book. yeah, I'm gonna do an in-depth review of this book one day and point out all the things that make 0 sense in this book. Yep. And it's kind of racist, it's kind of sexist, and Pro is unlikable. Anyways, so the next question is the most surprising thing I read, and that would be Radio Silence, because it's a contemporary, and I thought it was May romance. It's not romance. Thank you. Yeah, so Radio Silence, I don't read contemporaries all that often, so Radio Silence is the most surprising thing I read. The next one is my new favorite author, and that would be V.E. Schwab, because I read A Darker Shade of Magic this half year, and I loved it. So she's a new favorite author for me. New fictional crush, Kel, and what's his name? Rye? Oh my gosh, I think it's Rye, the prince. I am brain farting. I'm pretty sure it's Rye. I'm gonna make sure. I'm sorry. I think it's Rye. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna be shamed. Yeah, I think it's Rye. Kel and Rye, I love them. And I guess I really like Eled in this book, but he wouldn't go after me because I'm female. Just gonna state that. I think so. My next question is book that made me cry. I kind of went over favorite characters. I guess favorite character I didn't mention is also Frances. I really enjoy Frances. Okay, so books that made me cry and books that made me happy. This book fits both. So I'm gonna just like push them all together. Ahsoka. This is the only book that's made me cry this year, because there's a really cute just like reunion at the end of it, towards the end of it, and it just made me happy. It also made me really cry because it was beautiful, and this book made me so happy, and just because it's Ahsoka and I love Ahsoka. Oh my gosh, this book made me so happy. And the other book that made me like really, really happy also made me really, really, really mad. It's also Radio Silence. Yep. That's also another book that made me really, really, really happy. It didn't make me cry, but it made me really happy. Yeah, I think that's it. So, I only have 2 questions left that I'm going to answer for this mid-year freakout tag. The prettiest book I have bought this year, I'm going to give that to Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I love the colors of this, the pink, purple, and blue. I love the little house, mansion. I don't know what this is because I've never read Jane Eyre, so it's on my TBR. I love the look of this book. It's so pretty. So that. And the last question is, what books do you need to read by the end of this year? All of them. All of them. Pretty much. Is what I need to read. Right now, I need to finish the Essential Tales of H.P. Lovecraft. And then I'll be reading Silent Night, which is a contemporary romance. And then House of Hades, which is right here. It's upside down at the moment. And Stardust. And then my 2 that I don't really have to read is Big Little Lies and Nightwing Volume 1. And then I also picked this up from the library today. It is a book written by someone in my town, my small little town. And I am enjoying it. It's called A Blaze of Magic. This is a sequel to I don't know where my copy. There it is. It's a sequel to A Spark of Magic. I should probably reread this at some point, but to read A Blaze of Magic. So, but I don't have the time, and I want to read that. This was also signed. Oh, I had notes in here. I have calculus notes in here, and it was signed by the author. Anyways, yep. So that has been the mid-year freakout tag. If you enjoyed this, leave a like. And if you like what you've seen and want to see more, leave a subscribe. And join my library and get lost with me. Hey, there's a new outro. Cool, we'll use that. If you so desire, tell me what your answers to this mid-year freakout tag is. And yeah, or just talk to me. What book are you reading? Hey, there's a good question. What book are you reading? What's your thoughts so far? And how far are you in that book? I hope you enjoy. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.